Hey, welcome back, 8th graders. We are moving on in that second section, and we're talking about order of operations. And I have some very, very strong opinions after my 11 years of teaching when it comes to order of operations. So here are our 4 steps to working a problem. And the reason for order of operations is so that everyone gets the same answer. Mathematicians were finding out that some of them were doing it in a different order, and so a group of them, I don't know, I can search it up sometime if you're really interested, decided they needed to get together and standardize the way we did things. And so this is what they came up with. Our first step is that we are going to do all operations that are inside grouping symbols. And so that could be parentheses, that could be brackets, that could be the curvy brackets. That also includes our fraction bar. That acts as a grouping symbol, and we have a couple examples with that today. After we take care of what's in the grouping symbols, and when you're in the grouping symbols, you then find you do order of operations within the grouping symbols. But once we perform all of our simplifying within the grouping symbols, then we move to simplifying our exponents, which is why we did the last video about powers. After we simplify our exponents, we should be left with numbers with either multiplying, dividing, adding, or subtracting. And here's the thing that most of the time confuses people. Multiplication and division happen at the same time. And they happen from left to right. So if division comes before multiplication, you need to divide before you multiply. And this is one of those places where I have this strong opinion. Okay? A lot of you, and I even heard some of you in class, have already referred to this lovely acronym PEMDAS, which is not terrible, but PEMDAS insinuates that all of these happen in this order, that we do parentheses, that we simplify exponents, that we multiply, then divide, and then we add, and then subtract. And so this is where most people get confused, because really the last two are equal and they happen at the same time. So multiplication and division happen at the same step from left to right. And so I have been working to remove PEMDAS from my vocabulary, just because, again, this acronym, after you've been out of a math class for a while, that acronym makes you think, oh, well, I multiply before I divide. And so I just try to avoid the acronym itself. After we multiply and divide, then we move to our addition and subtraction. But remember, we've already talked about how we can change subtraction into addition. And so that, again, that's a reason why, and it's the same division, we can change into multiplication, but I haven't talked about that yet. But that's the reason why multiplication and division happen at the same time, and addition and subtraction happen on the same step. So let's do some examples. Our first example is this lovely one right here. So we're going to start with our grouping. So we have a set of parentheses. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do 6 minus 2, which is 4. And so I'm going to keep that in parentheses and put the cube there. I highly suggest rewriting your problem, because if you just write little numbers, the more expansive the problems get and the more steps that you have to do, the more likely you're to lose a little number somewhere. So I do highly suggest rewriting your problem. And remember, we're having to show our work for homework anyway. From here, we're going to do 4 cubed. So that's 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. As accelerated kids, I highly suggest starting to learn your perfect squares and perfect cubes up to 10, so that just algebra becomes easier for you. So we've already evaluated our exponent. So now we look for the multiplication and division from left to right. We only have the division, so we divide. 64 divided by 2 is 32. There are no more operations, and so then that's our answer. And so that's how order of operations works. We found our grouping symbols, we went to our exponents, and then we did our division. All right, next example. On this one, this is where that fraction bar is our grouping symbol. And so this numerator is one group and the denominators are second group. And so we're going to start in my grouping symbol. I have an exponent, so I have to start by evaluating that before I do the subtraction. So 2 to the 4th power is 16, because that's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. So we're going to end up with 16 minus 1 divided by 5. And then 16 minus 1 is 15 divided by 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. And so then that is our final answer on that one. And again, within my grouping symbol, which in this case was the fraction bar, I did my order of operations again. So if you have parentheses within parentheses, then you go to the innermost parenthesis. Oh, sorry, I'm flipping lots of pages. That is what I have for order of operations. I do have one more. We're going to talk about substitution property. And so I will see you there, 8th graders.